as promised. 20 reasons why it's great to be a guy. You're a guy in here. You're yeah. Yeah, I like that deeper tone so much better than how squealing sounds. Alright. 20 reasons why it's great to be a guy. Number 1, we know stuff about tanks. A 5-day vacation, we only have to pack 1 suitcase. Oh, and by the way, ladies, we can open all our own jars. Thank you very much. We go to the bathroom without a support group. Everything we need to know about Afghanistan, we learned from Rambo 3.
Can I get an okay?
Yeah. If need be, we can kill our own food. If someone forgets to invite us to a party, we can still be friends. We have the ability to think about absolutely nothing. Okay. Everything on our face stays the original color. 3 pairs of shoes are more than enough. 0 concentration needed for getting dressed. We can sit quietly on a couch watching a movie with a friend and never once think to ourselves, he's mad at me. Our friends will all still talk to us if we forget their birthday. If someone else shows up wearing the same shirt, we become best friends. Our friends never trap us with the phrase, do you see something new?
Can I get a yay?
We are completely unable to see wrinkles in our clothes. We can cut our nails with a pocket knife. A fight between guys makes us best friends. And we can carry an entire conversation simply through grunting. Huh?
True day.
Alright, it's awesome to be a guy. Last week, we opened up the Bible into Genesis 1:26-27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. What was crazy about this verse? Someone shout it out. Go ahead, Brandon. Yes, our English translation can't handle the cool Hebrew words. These are actually not masculine nouns. They are, in fact, mankind. All of man and women together. God created us in his own image. He created, in the image of God, he created mankind, and he created them. Which means that God put his image on them. And so when God put his image, when he put his thumbprint on mankind, men and women, the two of them together display a fuller image of who God is. And that's just mind-boggling. I hope someday you can wrap your minds around that, because I still can't. It's such a beautiful thing. And God made us different. And those differences, when they come together, in unity instead of as aggression, when they come together, they create a beautiful image of who God is. And reflecting that image, there's this beautiful unity that will happen when it's under God. So tonight, guys are like waffles. Oh, it makes all the sense in the world. Some of you in this room have eaten a waffle. Have you eaten a waffle? Give me a yaya. If you were to observe a waffle, one of the first things you recognize is individual squares all the way across the waffles. You see, guys are like waffles because we organize things in our minds in the way we work, and we compartmentalize it. Compartmentalizing, that's the social science way of saying guys categorize things into boxes. What we do is when we have issues in our lives, we put the first issue in the first box. We put the second issue in the second box, and the third issue goes...
Third box. Number 6.
Now what a guy does, and this is the way he works, because he compartmentalizes and he puts and organizes all these things, is he will step into the first box of his day or whatever's going on. He will analyze the issue. He will come up with a problem to solve said issue. He will solve the problem, and then he will step into the next box of the day. Now, women are obviously very different, because last week we talked about women are like spaghetti. Everything in their brain is touching everything else, and it's just chaos and craziness. And her brain is like opening 10,000 browsers in her mind at the same time. You know what I mean? Everything is touching everything, and she'll be following this one thought, and then seamlessly just connect to another one, and connect to another one, and she's just traveling all the time. And guys are different. Us guys, we jump into one box, analyze, solve the problem, step into the next box. Are you following this so far?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Which makes us natural problem solvers by nature. For us, we look at careers. We look at a career that best fits our skill set, and we'll chase that career until we're dead. boring conversation, we look for the bottom line. We don't want to hear about all the colors. We don't want to hear about all the emotional attachments. We look for the bottom line. Why? Because in our conversation, we step into a box. There's an issue. There's a reason for this conversation. Let's get to the bottom of that reason. Good. And now we can jump into the next box of our lives. Are you girls going, wow, that's totally true? Guys, are you going, oh my God, amen, brother?
Can I get an amen?
So men strategically organize their lives into boxes. And they spend most of the time, and don't miss this, guys will spend most of the time in the boxes that they feel successful in. Are you following me?
Okay.
Because the success drive is such a strong motivator that we have a tendency to seek out those that work, and we might ignore those that confuse us or make us feel like failures. It's just for real.
Yeah.
Say a guy is at work and things are starting to do well for him at work. He's making more money. He's maybe signing more deals. Things are going really well. But at home, he's getting in arguments with his wife all the time. Some of you already know where this is going. He's going to start spending more time at work. He's going to start working later hours. He's going to start doing overtime because this is where he feels successful. This is where he feels he can really accomplish something. And at home, he feels like a failure. He feels like there's tension and it's something that confuses him. He doesn't know how to fix that. And so he gravitates to his work. Think about hobbies. Guys love hobbies. We're working on the car, or going golfing, or playing video games. We find these hobbies. Why? Because they're boxes that we feel successful in. They're boxes that seem to work for us. And if we feel better about ourselves in this hobby than we do at work, it's amazing how we'll start cutting corners and we'll spend less time at work and more time trying to figure out how to get back to the hobbies that we feel successful in. Am I connecting with anybody? We're going to get at. That's actually kind of true. Okay, see, some of you girls, hold on to your seats because this is what's going to get crazy. Guys actually have boxes that have feelings and thoughts but don't actually have words.
Whoa.
Like some of you girls are like, oh wait a minute, I can't even think without thinking with words in English. Guys actually have boxes where we have great memories, we have emotions, we're processing, and yet there are no English words or whatever language you speak in their head. Now here's going to be even crazier. Are you ready? Guys have boxes in their minds that are completely empty. There's no emotions, there's no thoughts, there's no processes. They can be in this box and nothing's happening. Don't miss this. Guys climb into one of these empty boxes to relax. They climb into one of these empty boxes to unwind. And see, this is backwards in girls. You remember what girls do to unwind? They connect, they talk, they work through conversation, and they all this spaghetti connect, and they go from place to place to place to place in their mind. And so, for a girl, the idea of, wait, there's a place in your mind that's empty, it's just, smoke will come out their ears if they try to think of it. Because we're so drastically different. Now, see, a girl will see a guy, and he'll climb into one of these, I like to call them easy boxes. He'll climb into one of these empty boxes because he's trying to relax, he's trying to unwind a little bit. And a girl will see this relaxed, gentle posture and immediately say to herself, this is a wonderful moment to start conversation. And she'll sit down and go, let's talk.
And the guy's like,
and she'll start going on and on and on. And the guy's in this empty box. Now remember, the box he's in has no words. So she starts talking, and she starts doing the spaghetti thing, which is totally natural, because this is how you girls relax, is you connect all the spaghetti. And you're doing this next to the guy that's going, and so he starts searching for a nearby box. Does that box have words? No. Does this box have words? No. And she starts going, are you hiding something? Why aren't you talking to me? You must have some thoughts. Why aren't you telling me? Why are you? And he starts going. He's trying to find. How about those Blue Jays? Man, they're awesome. Those Red Sox are really doing well this time of year. You know what I mean? See, you girls are going, I can't even process how you can be in an empty box. And guys are going, I don't even understand how your mind can be going 24/7 with that spaghetti thing. And that's okay. Because when these two personalities, when they get together, they can complement each other in a way that's beautifully and wonderfully fulfilling. So if we're so different, and we're so drastically on the opposite sides of the scale, and what the other person does to relax is actually the opposite of what we're trying to do. One is spaghetti. I got to connect everything in my life. I have to connect to all of you, and I have to connect to my mother and the feelings that I had last week. And with the guys doing relaxing, just going.
what?
Have you ever seen a guy watch TV that's just, car explodes, these are the empty boxes where we unwind and relax. So for us to communicate, the biggest tension in communication is that the girl will enter this conversation thinking that the guy is just like her. And the guy will enter the conversation thinking the girl is just like him. See, what happens is the girl jumps in the conversation saying, and she is with the intention of, because don't forget, girl is the companion. She is wired to connect with this guy. That is her designed by God to connect with her companion and to be a companion. So she sits down next to him and she wants to spaghetti and she wants to connect everything to him because that's how she's wired. And she starts saying to herself, well, obviously, if he loves me, if he cares about me, he's going to want to do all that connecting back with me. But see, that's not it. That's where the tension comes in because she's going, how come you don't talk to me anymore? How come you don't conversate constantly? How come you can't follow my thinking? And him, he's on the other side, and he's saying, how come we can't just get to the point? Why can't we just get to the bottom line? Because for him, communication is a box. He jumps into the box. We are beginning conversation. We must be beginning a conversation to solve a problem. We're problem solvers. What's the conversation about? Let's get to the bottom. We'll fix it. We'll move on with our lives. And so when he's in conversation, he's just going, I can't follow this. Are you following me? How beautifully different we are. So we have to understand the other person is different. You don't even understand how many time bombs that's gonna disarm for you. If you could just enter in a conversation with the opposite gender with the understanding that this person processes differently. They're a waffle head. They're a spaghetti head. Men, we're always in a box. We're problem solvers. When a man begins a conversation, he does so because there is an issue that needs to be addressed. Are you following me? This is the reason why a guy will start a conversation. There's an issue that needs to be addressed. I will open my mouth. English words will come out with the intent that I will get to the bottom of the issue and move on. Are you following me so far? If there's no issue, there's no reason to talk, and he is at ease with the world and assumes that everything in the relationship is gravy. Now, a woman, when she begins a conversation, remember, she's spaghetti, she's a companion. She begins the conversation with the intent to connect with him and connect everything in her world together with him in the middle, which is awesome. Yay! You love us. You want to connect things to us. And she assumes that he wants to do the same. So what do? How do we communicate with each other? How can we have the kind of conversation that's actually going to uplift both sides? And at the end of this conversation, the guy goes, yes, I can change boxes knowing that that box is left taken care of. And at the end of the conversation, she can sit back and go, my world connects. Nobody listens to me the way you do. Nobody understands me the way you do. And you go, hero! Yes! Scenario. Guy and girl sit down on the couch. And I'm kind of repeating, but I just really want you to get this. They sit down on the couch, and she begins the conversation. What's she doing?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. She's connecting everything in her world. She's one connect to her. Good. I'm glad you guys are on this. Now, because she started a conversation, his gut reaction is, she brought up a conversation, there must be an issue at hand, and he
Problem solved.
problem solves it. He tries to fix.
He's waffling.
She starts going, oh, my mom was talking to me about this, and he starts going, oh, okay, so you have a problem with your mom. Okay, well, you can fix it by doing this. And she goes, oh, yeah. And then you know what? I got this shirt, and it was just a little too small. Okay, we can take it back to the store. And so he goes into Mr. Fix-It mode. That's all he knows to do. Are you following me?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're kind of following me. Good. So her feelings get hurt because she feels like he's always trying to fix her and fix everything in her world. And he gets frustrated because there seems to be no point to this. So how do we communicate with each other? Are you ready for this? This is actually going to make sense. Guess what? Because you love each other, hopefully, if you are in this dating relationship, if you love your parent, if you care about your friend, you're actually going to want to be a little selfless and say, you know what, I'm going to put you first. When we're doing conversations, we're going to take turns. I know. It's like elementary all over again.
Oh, wow.
Now follow me on this. Don't miss this. Now, guys, you need to recognize that she needs to make connections. Girls, please recognize that guys are just trying to finish this box and move on to the next one. Guys, when you approach a conversation with a girl, when you're talking, when she starts a conversation with you, remember this. Guys, go on a journey with her. As she starts to talk, prepare yourself. Jump into, this is what I do. I jump into a journey box. Okay, I'm in the listening box now for Jackie. I'm prepared to listen. When this conversation is over, I know that I have succeeded. Issue solved. So guys, jump into the journey box. And pack your bags, prepare to take a journey with her. And as she goes from this to this to this to this, it's okay if you can't follow. Pretend like you're following. Just give her eye contact. Do everything you can to stay engaged with the journey. So see, a lot of guys are going, you don't understand. If I do that, it's going to be like next Wednesday by the time the conversation ends. You know what? I bet you that's because you never took the time to let her complete her journey. You know what? If she completed her journey more often, it wouldn't take so long because she would have connected this. She'd already be a little bit further ahead. Guys, think about this. Think about if you're watching a football game and you're just like on the edge of your seat, like, oh my God, your team might win for the first time in your life. And 10 minutes before the game ends, the power goes out.
Oh my God, I would die.
Super Bowl.
I would die.
Okay? Think about you are working, you're changing a tire. Some of us guys change tires. You know, because we're macho men.
Yeah.
We're changing a tire, and just as we're about to finish putting the thing on, the tire falls off again. And we're getting out, we get that last nut, and all of a sudden it just pops off like a gremlin back there. Kicking it. You know? What if we were not able to finish our task? Like, it would drive us up the wall. Like, I want to watch the end of the game. You know what I mean? Are you following me? Guys, that would be really tough. Now think about it from a girl's point of view. Every time she starts talking to you, we shut them down. Okay, get to the bottom line. I don't want to hear about all that. Just get to the point. That's the way she feels. She feels like the game got cut in half. If we'll give them the chance to journey a little bit, if we'll give them that eye contact and follow them for a little bit, let them weave their way through all of this wild spaghetti, when they come to that conclusion, dude, you're a hero. You're like 10 steps ahead of the job at high school when they realize that you have this talent. Journey with them. And at the end, I'm telling you, she's going to take that deep sigh and you're like, wow, nobody understands me the way you do. You can just go, all right, so guys, what I do is I have a already pre-built in my mind, and I can tell when Jackie's stressed. And we'll sit down on the couch. I'm not kidding you. We'll sit down on the couch and I'll go, Jackie, spaghetti for me. Go ahead, spaghetti it all out. And I know that at the end of this, it's going to be a great night. You know? Guys, this works. Try it. When your future girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever, try it out. Just give her some time to spaghetti. It's an amazing way. Now see, sometimes girls don't understand that if you can't spaghetti with them, they'll think you're uncaring, they'll think you're insensitive, you can't feel emotions like I can. So girls, what you need to do is you need to camp. When a guy starts a conversation with you, or you're in conversation, remember we're taking turns. You gotta get on the I'm gonna be selfless for you a little bit here. And girls, take the time to camp. When a guy opens a conversation, recognize he has one point that he's trying to make, one issue at large, and he wants to get to the bottom of that point before he changes boxes. If you take the opportunity to go, okay, I'm gonna stay with you on this one thing. And I guarantee you, because girls love to rush conversation, because as he's talking about this one thing, in her mind, it opens up 20,000 other browsers of things that connect to that. And she starts going, yeah, but what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And girls, what you're doing, you don't even realize it, what you're doing is you're opening all kinds of boxes at the same time. And he feels incredibly overwhelmed. When he feels overwhelmed, this is not the box he feels he can succeed in, which makes him shut down or frustrated. Are you following me? If you open up all these boxes on him, he feels he can't succeed, and he'll find an easy box, and that may be not talking to you. Are you kind of on the same plane with me?
Yes.
So girls, camp for just a little while. Let him get, and see what girls don't do sometimes, is they don't let him get to the bottom of the issue. Girls feel like guys are unemotional, they feel like they're uncaring. I wonder when the last time you let him actually stay in that box until he got to dig to the bottom. There's a story in a book that we read where there's a newlywed couple, and she keeps saying, he never talks to me, he never talks to me, he never talks to me. And they're talking to their marriage counselor because things are kind of falling through. And he said, look, maybe you need to climb into a box with him. So one day, she went out into the garage where he was working on the car. Guess what? The car was his easy box. That's where he feels successful. She went out, jumped into his box, and she just sat there. And she let him tell him about the rotors and the torque and all these crazy things, and she did exactly what I just told the guys. She tried to follow. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
That's
And she stood there, and you know what? As he began to talk about his car stuff, he began to dig down in that box a little bit. He actually started coming out and started saying, you know what? I don't think anybody's really listened to me the way you have. Really, thank you. It really means a lot to me. You see, she gave him the chance to dig to the bottom of this one thing. She gave him the opportunity to dig. Instead of just going, oh yeah, well that thing's over there, and opening up all these other boxes on him where you did. She gave him the chance to dig to the bottom. Sometimes guys don't seem like they have emotions because no one's ever stopped to let them get to the bottom. or something. You know what I mean? So girls, camp with us a little bit. Take the time to reel in some of that spaghetti. So take turns. So guys, what are you gonna do?
Travel.
Thank you. Guys, what are you gonna do?
Travel.
Girls, what are you gonna do?
Camp.
Awesome. Guys, girls, there won't come a day when you actually understand the opposite sex. Because God wired you so different. Guys, He wired you for a job. He wired you to take on a challenge. He wired Adam to tend the garden and take care of it. And He wired you to be helpful. We're not going to understand each other. We're wired differently. We're not going to understand each other. But you know what? If we'll take the time to care enough about the other person to extend what they really need in conversation, this can be a beautiful experience where both of you walk away from a conversation feeling fulfilled. Feeling like, wow, we got to the bottom line. We got to the bottom of this. We went somewhere. We traveled and we camped, and oh my gosh, we got through that without arguing. See, most arguments really come up because of lousy communication skills. The guy's going, oh my god, get to the bottom line, and she feels like hurt because just realize I want to connect with you. And the girl's going, oh my gosh, just realizing 10 million other things that connect to what you're saying, and he's going, ah! And he gets frustrated.
Or you make a whole bunch of valid points, and they're not important.
Because, exactly, because she's not looking to be fixed. And you know what? If you can use dialogue like this with the other person, you can be stressed out, guys, and go, look, I can't travel with you right now. I'm really wore out. And she goes, oh, I get that. Okay, well, thank you for being honest with me. You know, the flip side, girls, you can go, you know what? I really need you to send this together. How awesome is that you have dialogue that you can use that makes sense? I know that this is good stuff. You can use this. It doesn't even have to be dating someone to use this. This could be a teacher. This could be a parent. It works. Heavenly Father, thank you for making us beautifully and wonderfully different. Lord, I pray that we will be selfless enough to take turns. God, even if they won't give us the love and the courage to be selfless. And I pray, Lord, that you bless us back. In Jesus' name, amen.